Now let's take a look at converting between scientific and standard notation. So we're going to introduce the scientific notation. We're going to look at how we convert from standard to scientific notation, and then from scientific notation back to standard notation. So the scientific notation is a number written in this form: a times 10 to the power of n, where a is a number that is greater than or equal to 1 but less than 10. Now let's look at converting from standard to scientific notation. So what we want to do is we have to write our expression in this form: a times 10 to the power of n. So how do we get a? So we write our 154. When you have a number, a whole number, your decimal point is right here. So what you want to do is you want to first write your number such that it looks like your a has to be a number between 1 and 10. It has to be less than 10, greater than, equal to 1. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the decimal point between 1 and 5. And so what I'm going to do is I need to go from this position right here between 1 and 5 to the current location of the decimal point, which is 2 digits, 2 units to the right. So I go 1 right here and 2. So this is 1.54 times 10 to the power of 2. So take note, we first figure out where the decimal place is right now, and then we look for how to create our a, which is this number that must be between 1 and 10. So now we have 136, and then we have 30, so 136,000. So our decimal point is right here at the onset, but we need a number that is between 1 and 10. So I'm going to put a decimal point right here, and then I'm going to figure out what I need to do to get the decimal point to its original location. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 1.36 times 10 to the power of 5. Now we have a situation where this number already has a decimal point. So we have the decimal point right here, but we want to make sure our number is between 1 and 10. So I'm going to put it right here, and I need to go 2 spots to get to where the decimal place was originally, which is 1.364 times 10 to the power of 2. We're going to apply the same method here, 1458.2. This is going to give us, I'm going to put the decimal point right here. So we have 1, 2, 3. So 1.452 times 10 raised to the power of 3. Now let's look at decimal numbers that are less than 1. So we have 0.684. Now remember that our number must be greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10. So we're going to put the decimal point right here, but look what we have to do. We have to go left to get to where the original decimal was. So this is going to be 6.84 times 10. Because we're going left 1 unit, is going to be -1. Now let's look at this example here. 0.000387. So we're going to put a decimal point between 3 and 8, and then we want to figure out how do we get to where the decimal place was initially. So we're going left 1 unit, 2, 3, and 4. So this is going to be 3.87 times 10 to the power of -4, which means we're going left to go from where the decimal place should be to where it was when we started. We're going 4 units to the left. Now let's go from scientific notation to standard notation. Now what's going to happen here is we have 6.32 times 10 to the power of 4. So what I'm going to first do is I'm just going to write the number without any decimal. So what ends up happening is, let's look at the decimal is right here. We're going times 10 to the power of 4. So it's going in the positive direction. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So between all of this, I'm going to put a 0 right here and put a 0 right here. So this is going to be 63,200. Let's look at this example here. So 6.54 times 10 to the power of 8. So we're going to have 6.54. Now let's move. We're going to now move the decimal 8 units to the right. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And everything that looks like a canopy, you're going to put zeros under them. Put zeros under them so that you can create your new number, which is 654. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's do a quick check to see if we got it right. So we have 6, 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to convert this back to scientific to see if we get the same result. So our decimal is right here right now, but this is where it should be. So we have 6.54 times 10. Now we're going to move, let's see how many units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see that we can always go back and forth to cross-check. Now we have 1.25 times 10 to the power of -1. So I'm going to write my 1.25. It's saying 10 to the power of -1, so that means I have to go 1 unit to the left, and this is where my decimal sign is going to be. So this is going to be 0.125. What about 6.54 times 10 to the power of -3? I'm going to write my 6.54. Now we're going to the power of -3, so I'm going 1, 2, 3. This is my decimal point right here, and I'm going to put a 0 under every dome. So this is going to be 0.00654. So this shows you how you can convert from scientific to standard, and also from standard to scientific.